Prince Harry has lost his legal challenge against the government's removal of his automatic right to police protection. A judge ruled the Home Office's decision to strip the Duke of the highest level of security after Megxit was justified and not irrational. Harry's lawyers had unsuccessfully argued the Prince was singled out and treated less favourably than other royals. The Home Office insists Harry will still benefit from close protection when staying at official residences or attending royal events, but he'll have to arrange his own security for anything else. But in a moment of vindication for the Prince, his legal team produced evidence that appeared to support his claim he'd been involved in a catastrophic car chase in New York last year. A letter from the New York Police Department referenced reckless disregard of vehicle and traffic laws and persistently dangerous and unacceptable behaviour on the part of paparazzi during the night in question. The Duke of Sussex has vowed to appeal the judgment and claims he's not asking for preferential treatment. One journalist, Wag, tweeted, "Commiserations to Prince Harry on being the only person to launch an unsuccessful legal challenge against the Home Office." What I find bizarre about this is the fact that Harry is like the Duracell bunny. He just keeps going and going and going, even when he loses cases. And I understand, we've discussed many times, he is messianic in some of these cases, whether it's against the British tabloids or whether it's against the Home Office. I have a bit of sympathy. No, I have more than a bit of sympathy with the security issue, because he clearly is genuinely concerned. We know that because of what happened to his mother, and he talks about this a lot in his book and on those documentaries. But it just seems to me that now is the time to listen to his lawyers, accept defeat and move on this particular case against the Home Office.
Go on, Esther.
It doesn't look like he's going to win, even if he appeals. I don't know what he's appealing exactly. I read the judge's statements, and it seemed pretty reasonable and balanced. He was aware of the implications of him going to the US. His private secretary told him, and the court had access to all the documents to actually testify to this. I think that the idea that he's being treated unfairly is quite weird, because he's the only person to have done this.
Correct.
Right? It's not like, I mean, okay, yes, his mother.
Yeah, there isn't a precedent.
So exactly, there's no precedent for this. And I think the Home Office has actually made a reasonable case saying, look, we're not taking away your security. We're just going to do it on a case-by-case basis, which is fair enough. You don't live in the UK. You give us prior notice, and we will amend your security based on the need. You don't get to treat the sort of Home Office, security, the Metropolitan Police, like they're just your bodyguards on standby. You know, most people can't even get a burglary investigated, let alone having police, access to that kind of security on a 24/7 basis. So he needs to understand. And he's also extremely rich. Most celebrities have their own private security, and when the need arises, they collude with the police. Why can't he do that? Why does he think that he needs to have this kind of constant 24/7 security? Then you shouldn't have left. Sorry, actions have consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? You're right. From Bill Gates to Beyonce, these are very high-profile people.
Exactly.
They pay for their own security. I get that there are times when it goes with the job, which is what the judgment said. It should be on a case-by-case basis. But can you imagine if you didn't do that and you just handed over, said, right, yeah, you get the full works, 24/7, mate, exactly as the Prime Minister gets, exactly as your brother or the King gets. And the extraordinary scene of him and Meghan coming over to the UK to promote their latest book or podcast and being ferried between TV studios with 3 cars all paid for by the taxpayer. I mean, you simply cannot have that situation. So, yes, of course he might be a risk, but so is Beyonce, so is Bill Gates. Case-by-case basis, the judgment seemed very fair to me.
It seems really interesting that he's choosing to push this so hard when he spends such vanishingly little time actually in the UK.
True.
I mean, he was only here for a matter of whatever it was, sort of 40-minute meeting with his father. He came all the way over, which, probably to his credit, but he was soon out again. Same with the coronation, wasn't it? In and out really quickly. So he's making a massive point of principle. I wonder whether that tells us that he does think long-term he will come back for longer. But secondly, I do think that to announce that you plan to appeal on this of all days, when the royal family is having an absolute shocker at the moment, Harry is either very unlucky or very stupid or both, because the timing of this could hardly be worse in terms of public opinion. You know, we are all very concerned about the King's health. We're very concerned about Princess Kate's health. Prince William had to drop out of something. We don't know why. The royals have also lost one of their own in a tragic sudden death. And here we've got Harry poncing around, you know, flouncing about and saying he's not happy with a very sensible legal judgment. It's just a really bad look.
Yeah, for once I can't even defend him. I really can't.
Wow.
Come on, JJ.
I've tried.
Give it a go, man.
Dig deep, JJ.
From the Beckhams to Katie Price, they've had death threats, they've had kidnap plots made against them. When the police are aware of it, and if they think it's serious enough, they will inform them and inform their personal security. When I go to Nigeria, there's parts of that country where my family live where I can't go without armed guards.
Wow.
The president of Nigeria does not pay for me to have armed security. That's something we have to organise ourselves. Harry, unfortunately, is just like me now. He's just like every other person in the country.
You pay for armed guards?
Yeah, because in some parts of Nigeria...
Where's this story? We've been out drinking 10,000 carrots. This is the best anecdote ever. You've never, ever furnished us with...
We're all wondering about coming on holiday with you.
Some family live in the North Nigeria where Boko Haram and other
quite dangerous.
No, I get it.
and it's very dangerous. So if we want to go there and even just to drive through, we have to have armed
celebrity.
security.
JJ gets more
He just
than
looks
Prince
very
Harry.
rich,
What about
right?
That's it. I just
Well,
look rich.